Theme music, please. Aloha, I'm Mick Kalber.
How's it? I'm Bruce Amori, and you are
On Hawaiian time. Hey, throughout this broadcast, Bruce and I, along with my trophy wife Ann and our wonderful producer Tim, are going to talk story about life in Hawaii, what it's like out here, what it's like during volcanic eruptions, what it's like during nuclear threats from Korea, all the crazy things that happen out here. Hey, Annie's going to introduce our guest today because she knows him intimately.
Today on Hawaiian Time, we're going to be having my son, Drew Morehouse. He presently lives in Santa Barbara and recently became a paramedic. He works the ambulance service in Santa Barbara, and I'm really interested to see what it's like for him on the front lines.
Are you worried about him?
No.
Wow, I am.
Why don't we
Really?
get Drew on the line? Hey, there he is. Welcome, Drew.
How we doing?
Drew.
Hey, Drew.
What's it like on the ground there, Drew? Where are you?
So I'm in Santa Barbara, California. Still considered Southern California, but we're a ways up the coast. Santa Barbara is a little interesting. It's kind of isolated because we're on the tips of the bigger cities, that kind of thing. But the COVID-19 is definitely here. But yeah, people are definitely taking it seriously here. It's amazing. Downtown Santa Barbara is completely dead. There's no foot traffic. There's no cars up and down. Basically, the front streets, all restaurants and bars and wineries. The wine industry here is huge, and they're all closed. Everything is completely shut down. I got lucky in making a jump into full-time being a paramedic with AMR here in Santa Barbara County, but if I hadn't made that jump, I would be completely jobless, out of work, nothing to do. A lot of my friends kind of going stir crazy now because there's literally nowhere to pick up side work or anything like that. So it's definitely affecting a lot of the industry, as I would imagine it is in Hilo. A lot of the tourism and all that is completely shut down, and so these businesses, they might be able to scrape the bones, but for a little meat on there, but there's not much going on. But yeah, it's good to see people actually taking it seriously. But what people consider as important and stuff is different from I think person to person. You have some people that are going crazy. I'm sure people are back there going crazy at the grocery stores, or certain items all of a sudden are hot commodities that would have never been hot commodities. And then, yeah, just seeing people's reactions is really interesting. It's for us at AMR, AMR is a huge, not only nationwide, but they're global. They're part of GMR, which is Global Medical Response, that does all these things. And every day, if not like 4 or 5 times a day, there's a new update that gets emailed, sent out, anywhere from we're going to keep track of all our PPE, all of our personal protective equipment, to protocols to going into the hospitals now, which patients meet protocols, just everything. It changes so drastically according to what's needed or what's found out. It's, yeah, kind of a never stopping, just evolving with it. But yeah, it kind of comes down to it's interesting again how people deal with it. Some freak out and want to call 911, and it's definitely increased a lot of that call volume for us here. But it's interesting because you get to someone's house and you say, okay, you are sick, you are short of breath, that's completely fine. But as in any medical response, you ask, okay, so do you want to go to the hospital? You know, we're here, we can check you out. We're not doctors. I'm not going to diagnose you with anything. I can just tell you what I am seeing with my tools here. I think you are sick, yes. That being said, I'll take you to the hospital where there's 30 or 40 other people who think they are sick, who think they also have it too. Would you like to go to the hospital with them? And I'm happy to take you. But right now you're around people you love that will take care of you, that you seem to have food and water. That's something too. A lot of the, it's nice. We'll show up to calls with the fire department, and we show up to older people's homes, and they're able to offer, you know, can we get you groceries? Do you need anything? We can make sure the right people are getting you the tools. But it's really funny when you say, would you like to go to the hospital where there's 30 or 40 other people that are sick, and people go, oh, maybe not, maybe I don't want to go there. So it's kind of funny.
Drew, obviously you do simple tests for them. You take their temperature, right?
Yeah, so that's something that, like, little things like that. We used to never take everyone's temperature. It is a vital sign that you want to take and keep an eye on. But now it's
the first thing you do.
Everyone gets it. Yeah, literally, because PPEs are so limited, we will send only one person in to go and talk to the person. And if we can, get them to the front door, so we're not in an isolated area that's ventilated. But you have one person that fully puts on a suit, goes in, checks a temperature. If they are sick, cool, then we'll get more people in, whoever need be, to kind of get this person. If they're not ambulatory, if they're not able to walk, whoever needs to go in to be able to get this person out of there. But yeah, it's definitely just the little things are important now.
Drew, what's the fear level around the people that you're working with, as well as the people that you're treating? What's you guys are putting yourself in a dangerous position. You're on the front line, so how are people reacting to that?
Yeah, so it's like any group of or community of people. It kind of varies depending on. I know we have one paramedic. She's a phenomenal paramedic. She's kind of been a mentor, but she has a child that is immunocompromised. So she has taken a couple weeks off to stay away from being on the front lines, which is completely respectable. I get that. I wouldn't, if I had an immunocompromised child, I would stay away from that. Whereas myself and my partner that I've been working with quite a bit recently, we're younger, we're pretty physically fit, we're blessed with that. And so we're a little more like, this is my job. I always have been around things that have not been healthy. You're around people with pneumonia and different sicknesses, but it definitely depends on kind of where people get their information from and what their home environment is. I'm not worried. A lot of these people, especially the gentleman that I work with, he lives for himself, or his wife or his girlfriend is younger. He's not older. He doesn't have an older family that lives with him, or a lot younger. So we're kind of in this little niche of too old or not too young. We're not going to take it. I think that's a big concern with a lot of people, is that you're going to take it home to grandma, and grandma's not going to be able to deal with it. And you don't want to have that burden to weigh on you. That's a heavy weight. You don't want to bring that back to them. And so I think that's what the biggest thing is. If people are around younger, older people, that's when they kind of get a little edgy on it. But for the most part, it's a young crew. People are out there. They kind of take the approach of, I'm healthy, I'm young, so let's go and see what we can do, what we can help with.
Although this virus does hit younger people too.
For sure. No, exactly. It's definitely, I think quite a bit recently they've been publicizing how a lot more younger people are dying. Yeah, I'm blessed to be young, healthy, physically fit. Let's see what I can do to help. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm the best candidate, and a lot of people that I work with feel like that. So.
Well, good for you. Kudos to you for doing that. We really appreciate it.
Hey, Drew, so have you guys had to change your routine? When you approach somebody, has anything changed for you guys?
Yeah, so it's kind of from the top down. It starts when you call 911 here. Santa Barbara County's nice. We have dispatch that's able to do screening for us. Some places it totally depends where you're living and stuff. Not every time when you call 911 can someone talk to you through, say, CPR or anything like that. So here they're advanced in that way where they can start screening people. So when we go to a call, it doesn't just say person called short of breath. It says they say they're short of breath. It says they've had a cough for 2 days. So we can read off all these things before we even get there. That being said, it's not always true. And a lot of people, when they're sick, they're just saying yes to everything. But we're able to start with that. And then once we get to the door, it's only one person going in, like I said. And if they're ambulatory, if they're able to walk, we get them to come to the door to us and then kind of see what's going on. Because you call 911, you get full service. You get an ambulance with 2 people, and you get a fire truck with at least 3 people. So the last thing we want to do is send 5 people in. And then it's a tight-knit community. So your screening process, I say, is the biggest one, and the paperwork that now goes with it. If someone's suspected, it has to be documented on our side. Yeah, I'd say just those little things. And then, of course, yeah, you have 5 people wearing gowns that go in. Those 5 people go on 8 calls. Those are 40 gowns, and that's just one crew. So it's just being a little more cautious in that preemptive screening and that kind of things are the biggest, I would say. Because people who have a heart attack still have respiratory problems. Just because someone's presenting with, this, you go to a car accident. People with the COVID-19 get in car accidents too. You can't just be like, oh, I'm sick and that's the problem. So it kind of just everything gets on hyper alert and screening.
Wow.
I was going to ask Anne what she thought when she heard you say, Drew, in the beginning of this conversation, that you feel lucky to have this job and to be out there. Like, Anne, what do you think when here's your son on the front lines of a historic pandemic, and he says, I feel lucky to be out there on the front lines. I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Exactly. He has always wanted to be a fireman, and so it came naturally that he pursued it. I remember our greatest story is going when he graduated from the fire department, heading into Santa Barbara while they were having fires. We're literally driving through on the freeway with flames on either side. And it was just like, the powers that be saying, he's needed. And really, when it gets down to it, as much as I go, this is my son, I know that when something comes down, I want him to be there. He'd be the one I would want there when, he's always been on top of organizing and taking a good view of everything. So he's the guy I would want there. So I can't say, no, don't do it. I'm extremely proud of him and know that he's doing the best for everyone that he shows up and is there.
Yeah, Drew, you deserve a huge thank you, as do all first responders, for going out and being on the front lines, because it's a scary thing for sure.
Yeah, it's very rewarding though. It's instant gratification. That's what I would say. You're instantly able to see what you're able to do. So easy in that way, because that gratification is immediately there. No one's pushing you away or anything. People are welcoming you and what your knowledge and tools are able to help someone. So it's very rewarding.
There's a lot of people. I mean, obviously, first responders that's obviously, you're right there on the front line. What we're seeing in this pandemic, there's other jobs that we didn't think about or respect as much, maybe, like people working at the grocery store.
For sure.
It's like, it's amazing. It's like, woo, it's like when you put yourselves in their shoes, it's like, wow, I'm glad they're doing it, because I don't know if I could handle it right now. For sure.
No, for sure. And that's something I hope that those people are able to get the credit, or no one should be a priority in this testing and that kind of thing. It's kind of funny. Like, I hope that they stop, just testing like it's been big in the news, but like testing the NBA players and all that stuff. Like, they should like literally talk to the grocery stores and test all of their people. Like, I want to make sure that girl is healthy, not only for my safety, but for hers. She's not making big bucks, or the gentleman that's helping you bag your groceries, they're not making big bucks, but they're doing something that's so necessary, and we should all be grateful for. And I hope that they get tested. I hope that they are able to get what they need. So yeah, but it's funny going back to kind of what people are doing. It's my what I take from this is it's back to the basics. It's really funny. I was talking with some of the other paramedics and stuff, and it goes back to like what your parents taught you when you were a little kid. Like, what's really going to help you with all of this is don't touch other people's things. Don't touch other people's belongings. Wash your hands, as you always should wash your hands, and like respect other people's space. And, when you're sick, respect people's spaces. Don't cough in your hands. Don't cough on people. It's literally just those 3 things of don't touch other people's things, wash your hands, and respect people's space.
And I'm so pleased that you were listening.
So is Sarah.
See, Drew, Mom was right.
Exactly. It's back to the basics. So
for you guys out there listening who can't see us, we are in 5 different locations, all 5 of us, although 3 of us are on the same property but in different rooms. Drew is in Santa Barbara. Bruce is in Hilo, 20, 30 miles away from us. And we are properly socially distancing. and if you've heard that coughing, Mick's coughed a bit, and I don't think there's any way for me to edit that out. But I don't think anyone needs to be concerned about Mick, because Mick, you've had that cough, right?
Mick's been coughing for about 26 years, so I don't think we need to worry about that right now. It has to do with throat cancer.
Right. So just
so
in case.
on a lighter note, the people isolating, including us, are starting to get a little stir crazy. Imagine what they'll do in another 2 or 3 months. I just saw a meme that I thought was kind of funny. It's a baby, and the baby, the sign on it says, "I just spent 9 months inside. You guys will be fine."
There you go.
That was pretty good.
There you go.
Absolutely.
It's all relative, you know.
Oh, for sure. You tell someone you can't do something, that's the first thing they want to do, you know. Don't look over there. Everyone's head turns that way.
Yeah, right.
So.
Well, Drew, thanks so much. I mean, that was really educational for me.
Yeah.
That was an insider's look for sure.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. Thank you very much for having me. Like I said, I feel blessed to be out there doing that, and I would just tell everyone to just stay relaxed, stay calm, go back to the basics, just washing your hands, taking care of each other, giving each other space, and that's the best. And we'll come out of this, and I mean, once we're able to get out of this, I think it's going to be a huge boom. I know everything's kind of in a slump and people are worried, but I mean, you keep me cooped up for 3 weeks, I'm going to come out, eager to get out and go and see people and stuff. So as long as everyone stays healthy, I think it'll be just fine.
Interestingly, I think that different people, paramedics in different places, are probably having different experiences.
For sure.
We hear from different people around the world, but particularly in our country, and they tell different stories. I saw some nurses yesterday from the hospital, and you could tell they'd gone through the ringer. They were like wasted. And so I'm sure that some paramedics in some places are not quite as keen on it as you are,
For sure.
But God bless all you guys.
For example, I worked 72 hours in 4 days. So it's busy and stuff like that. But yeah, it's again instant gratification when you're up, you're moving, you're doing stuff, you're helping people. It's a little different, but it's definitely long hours. It's definitely the whole system is on a strain, that's for sure. But
thanks for doing what you're doing.
Absolutely,
of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mahalo, Drew.
Of course, I hope to eventually be doing it in Hilo. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I vote yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mahalo, Drew. All right, well, that's enough for us today. Please join us again next time. Support us, please. Rate us, review us, share with your friends. We can't do this without you guys, so we need support. Actually, we need a lot of help now that I think about it.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, next time. Aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha.